Ladies and gentlemen, part 3 of the special edition, the ancient megaliths and ruins of Mars, the evidence. You can also find the information, images and links in my blog. I'll include the link to this page in the video description below. And I've covered the introduction to the special edition in part 1 quite extensively, so I'm just going to briefly go through it again. So I've been researching and searching for anomalies on Mars for the past couple of months, and I found sites littered with these megalithic blocks with small features or knobs and holes in them, as well as ancient ruins, walls and foundations. And this is a effort to collate all the evidence into these videos, which I'm presenting as part of my speculation that there could have been a civilization on Mars with links to those on Earth. And there's some of the anomalies that I've found on Mars, just 2 examples of these megalithic blocks with these strange features or knobs on them. And then we take a closer look at the megalithic blocks found on Earth, and this one's quite interesting. Most of the anomalies on Mars that I'll be showing you, the megaliths are this big, approximately 6 meters tall, 10 meters wide. So this is found at Vilcabamba, the lost megalithic city of the Inca. There's some more of these knobs found on megaliths in Peru, and more found in Egypt. So I'm not going to cover the speculation part as to what these knobs are for. Please watch part 1 to familiarize yourself with that. And there's also some speculation that these blocks were somehow molded or formed, and in a melting process. The temple in India shows this warping in the stone caused by the non-uniform wall thickness, and there's an example of one of those found on Mars. You can also watch this video on YouTube, it's very interesting. And then there's these huge megalithic blocks found in Baalbek, measuring about 20 meters long, 4.5 meters wide and 4.5 meters high. So a lot of the blocks on Mars are that big and even larger. Specifically this one found in Asimov, pardon me, 75 meters tall, 33 meters wide. So that's huge. And also in Asimov, typical 20 meters by 8 meters size. And then the speculation as to the megaliths and ruins found on Mars, you can read that in my blog or watch part 1. And the geometry, just a quick description. Most of the megaliths that we'll be showing you on Mars are a minimum of about 8 meters wide, 8 meters long. They all show really smooth surfaces, straight edges and right angles. And most of the anomalies are found lie in 2 bands on Mars, in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, with some scattered about around the middle band, and then a few towards the South Pole. So those are the 2 bands, northern and southern hemisphere. Okay, so the first site we'll be checking out in part 3, located roughly 55 degrees south, 314 degrees east, and the topology shows this area to be quite flat, smooth area with signs of water possibly flowing over in this direction. Check out these sand dunes here. So this is the most compelling evidence of walls or foundations I've seen, and this is in our Gaia crater. Check that out. It's that area there showing multiple similar sized and geometry in those megalithic blocks, and the way that they are packed together, cut to fit, rows of walls or structures there, more of these similar sized, geometrically similar megaliths with these two smaller features or knobs on them. Check out this area here too, almost like there were terraces over here. We're looking at those anomalies there, and more of these blocks that have been manufactured to fit. Check out the way that they interlock. That one there is really interesting, not a typical rectangle or square. And then this one with a rounded edge and a smaller dome-like feature or knob. And as always, you can use the scale indicator bottom right to see how large these objects are. So you're looking at this area here. Another toppled wall perhaps, and there's another one of these blocks with a dome-like feature or knob. Check out that really straight line, and we're looking at those blocks there. Get these two blocks fitting on top of that larger block there. Nice geometry in these two parts. Got two larger blocks here and then four smaller blocks placed on top or next to it. And another block here with a small circular dome-like feature or knob. There's another eroded block with another flattened dome-like feature there, right in the center. And then look at the geometry over here. We've got a line coming across and then one intersecting it over there. So type of a structure perhaps. Looking at those blocks over there. More geometry in this area. More of these blocks or slabs with dome-like features or knobs right in the center of the surface. Check that out. Got rings, concentric circles running through here, possibly terraces. And we're checking out, just quickly find my bearings. That area there, and check at the really strange geometry and shape to this block, and how it fits into those smaller blocks there. Here we've got a square cube, and this block has a dome-like feature or knob in the center, and on that one we also have a similar feature or knob. Next site, 46 north, 162 degrees east, and it's in this area here with those strange mounds to the left. This one looks as if it could have been hollowed out somehow. So we've got another rectangular megalithic block. This one's about 12 meters tall, 5 meters wide. Got straight sides, right angled corners, and on the center of this one side we have some features. Check that out. There's that block down there. Now we're looking at this anomaly in the center of the screen. It's got a rounded side. Check that out. It looks quite eroded, broken off another piece perhaps. And in the center another dome-like feature or knob. And that's about 10 meters by 10 meters. Similar in size to that lost city of the Inca megalith I showed you first. Check out this block, got rounded corners, and it looks as if it continues in that direction, partially buried. Also with a darker spot just off center there. We're checking out that anomaly, about 12 meters by 10 meters, and also again a flattened normal feature on this side. We're looking at this anomaly and the arrangement of these smaller dark spots of similar size, and then a darker spot towards the one corner. Also looks as if it's broken off another piece perhaps. We're checking out that there. It looks almost like a shield, and it's about 10 meters by 4 meters. Straight edges, rounded corner, right angle, and then a darker dome-like feature in the center. Another similar object there. This one's more rounded. It shows features that might have been carved. Look at that ridge line running through there. And then a darker dome-like feature or knob in the center. Next site, 47 south, 122 east. In this flat area inside this flattened hole or pit, possibly a crater that filled in, just west of Alexei Tolstoy. Checking out these anomalies here, and specifically this small rectangular feature in the center of this. It looks like a metal plate perhaps, I'm not sure. And then this strange golf club shaped megalith over here, with the geometry in that shape. Not a typical boulder or rock. And then here, check out this slab, the rounded edges, and then two smaller similar sized features in the center over there. Another one of these disc-like convex shaped anomalies. And it looks like a piece coming off here. It looks like a little winglet, and then there too, this could be part of it, or that's a piece of metal plate running through under the ground and coming out that side. And then right in the center of this disc shape, got another smaller dome-like feature or knob. There's a piece back there that looks as if it's got 2 holes in it. Checking out this block in the center of the screen. Straight edges, right angle, and a rounded corner over here. And in the center, another smaller feature. This large, flat, disc-like slab, about 20 meters in diameter, according to the scale. And then the circular arrangement or pattern of these smaller, similar sized features or knobs. And then in the center, a little pyramidal knob or part to it right there. Another one of these flat disc-like slabs. I don't know what else to call them. And another circular pattern or arrangement of similar sized and shaped features. Check that out. And these strange metallic metal plate like objects in the center of the screen. Check out these 2 triangular objects sticking out of the sand there. This one's got 2 features on it as well as that one. And then that looks like another metal plate, more rectangular, with this piece sticking out on this one side, convex shape. These also show signs of warping, that there as well. Another feature over there in that center, looks like an opening perhaps. Could this be some type of wreckage? Looking at that rather strange object there, about 20 meters or 18 meters long, about 10 meters wide, a bit wider than the 2 megaliths at Baalbek. Check that out, this convex shape, and a little pyramidal feature right in the center there. Looks like a little hole, circular hole there. That could be a hole as well. Another one of these triangular metal plate-like objects. This one's got 3 features or parts running along the center in a straight line. Also is warped. Next site, 51 south, 301 east. In this flat area here, looks like a valley. And here I've found numerous anomalies. I think this area has the most anomalies I've ever looked at. So I did that in 3 parts. It was a massive area to cover. Got this huge triangular block, about 25 meters across, and each side about 20 meters there. And then it looks as if the apex is buried in sand. And right in the center of this one side we've got what looks like a circular hole. So check that out. Totally out of place. Nothing else around there looking remotely the same. And the only one I could find in this high-rise photograph. And then we've got megalithic blocks lying in this area here. Looks like a pillar, rectangular, narrow rectangular part there. smaller features or symbols, maybe glyphs on this one side. There's another triangular block over there. There's another one here. This disc-like slab has a small pyramidal feature or knob on it. That one there too. Smaller dome-like features or knobs on it. Checking out this, about 8 meters by 8 meters, and in the center a small flattened dome-like feature. More megaliths over here. And check out this strange piece in this L shape, and then a circular feature on the top that looks as if it could be an opening, like a slit, and then over here a narrow rectangular piece, straight sides, nice corners, right angles. Check these out. Here we got two parts. It's like a step. Check out that line running through there. It looks like a semicircular part, and that there like a cube or a square. And then on the center, on this one side, we've got a flattened dome-like feature. Check that out. Another convex cylinder shape. This rounded side, and then in the center an oblong feature or part, and then that looks like a flattened dome over there. And this block over here, about 15 by 15 meters, with this semicircular feature in the center. It looks like this could be an opening on this one side. Check at this edge over here, it looks worked, like machine marks here, those two parallel lines. And these anomalies here, 10 by 10 meters approximately. You've got a square block, or maybe a metallic plate. It's difficult to tell. To get the way it might be bent in on this one corner. Straight edges, right angle there, and then a triangular feature or part right in the center. Got two more blocks. Almost like a step over here. We've got 4 similar sized features in a line over there. You can see that one side of the block with a rounded corner here. Another disc-like semicircular metal plate perhaps, or megalithic slab. Check at the arc. Nice geometry in that arc. Partially buried there. Could this be another one of those disc-like objects I showed you in part 1, where we found them on Earth? Pardon, that must be my poster that just dropped. Sorry guys, I got a fright. And that's covered in sand there. 3 dome-like features or parts there. That looks like a hole. I really got a fright now. Oh my goodness. That's about 12 meters across by 10 meters. And this looks almost like a top of a craft perhaps. Convex shape. And then there's a ridge line running through there, as if the sand was pushed to this one side when this came in, either landed or crashed here, who knows. And there's a smaller dome or feature over there. There's a hexagon shaped megalith, check out the sides there. And then a smaller square-like feature in the center. And this looks as if this one corner might have been carved. Check that out. Got that right angle there. These strange megaliths over here. This one has a little dome-like feature or knob right in the center. Over there too we've got what looks like a hole in the center of that piece, and then more of these features arranged in a type of a circular pattern over here around the small flattened dome feature in the center. And then this too, I don't know if it's top of a craft perhaps or a machine. Let's see, that's about 20 meters across, so it's huge, similar in size to one of those blocks found at Baalbek, but it's a lot wider, about 12 meters wide, 10 meters wide. Also, it seems to have pushed the sand up over here. Maybe there's this could be a skirt with openings here. Could this be a top of a hatch? And then some more arrangement of darker features on this one side, and right in the center another flattened dome-like feature. And then this too, that's what, about 20 meters long, about 8 meters wide, like a delta shaped craft. Could this be a type of a winged craft or metal plate, or just a very strange megalithic block? To get this one corner over here, seems like it's been carved out, and then two smaller features towards the apex. You've got another hexagon shaped object with a square or rectangular feature or knob right in the center. More huge objects over there. This looks like another disc-like object. A square part on the top. That looks like it could be an opening over there. This one here looks like a square metal plate with a rounded corner. It's been bent. Look at that line running through there. And then on top of it, another piece of metal plate perhaps. It's been crumpled up, those bends, and then a nice straight edge over here and there. Another narrow rectangular object with a small spherical feature right there. There's another triangular part with a small dome-like feature towards the apex. And look at those blocks over here. This opening and that strange piece sticking out of this one side. Looking at these anomalies, another triangular piece there with two smaller features of similar size located towards each corner. To get this larger feature on top of that smaller block. Another triangular part over here, two smaller dome-like features, one in each corner, and then another semicircular larger part on this one apex. That could be a little opening there. Another metal plate perhaps in the shape of a hexagon. That looks like a perfect sphere. Another block over here with only that little piece sticking out. And then this strange part in the center. This oblong feature on the top. Almost in the center, very strange as well. And then this with four similar sized and shaped features or knobs placed in a symmetrical pattern on top of this rounded disc-like object. Checking out another one of these convex dome-shaped objects with a smaller dome in the center. Another one of these square blocks or wedge-shaped objects. Looks like a wedge with the sharp edge towards this one side. And more arrangement of smaller features or parts on this one side. Check out that straight lines, right angle. And then these rather odd looking, I don't know, possibly combination of wreckage and megalithic blocks. Looks like this one has a hole in it right in the center there. This one's got like a little pyramidal feature or knob in the center. Look at that massive hole cut into that block. And then here we've got two. This looks like another hexagon shaped object. And this one looks like another wedge shape. There's another partially buried, covered in dust object, a little hole in it. And we've got some more geometry and lines, more what looked like terraces or foundations or walls. The way these blocks are packed and arranged, sort of interlocking. And then this rather strange mechanical, technologically shaped, if I could call it that, part, object, the straight line running through there, and a weird rounded part sticking out of that line there. And then this looks as if it could have been a triangular shape. Looks like a hole over here. The donut shaped part over there. Could this have been some type of machinery or wreckage, or just a weird megalithic block? Checking out, I'm going to get my bearings quickly. These blocks over here. These two, some layering in these two objects perhaps. There's a dark spot that could be a hole in the center of this piece. Maybe a smaller hole over here. Here I got three circular features or knobs in a triangle. And this, could that be wreckage? Metal that's been ripped, torn and bent. To get this piece over here. There's another part with two holes in it. Another convex shaped piece, and I'm not sure, this could be an opening there. There's an oblong feature right in the center of this larger piece. More arrangement of these things in circular patterns. Check out this perfect symmetry in this block. Very similar in shape and geometry to the first one I showed you, that large block that I showed you first. In this area, a little hole almost in the center. There's a piece here with a larger hole in this rounded part here. Check out that block there with an oblong feature in the center. This looks like a piece of metal plate. Don't know for sure. This too looks like a rectangular opening. That perfect edge running along there. Now we've got more really thin slabs or metal plates, some layered on top of the other. That straight edge running through there. Could this be hiding an entrance perhaps, or a vent? That too, that looks like an opening over here. Another one of these hexagonal shaped objects, the smaller dome-like feature in the center. Next area, 55 south, 319 east, and also looks as if it could be in a plain, really smooth, flat area, and more of these walls, terraces, broken structures. We're looking at this block over here, and let's see how big it is. It's about 20 meters long, about 10 meters wide, and it's got a narrow rectangular feature or knob on it. This piece over here too seems to have smaller features or glyphs on it. More huge slabs or blocks. The way these seem to have fit together until they moved apart. Top of this one, almost in the center, we've got, looks like a little glyph as well. Another semicircular disc-like slab or object with a little dome right in the center. Checking out that object over there. Another hexagonal shape with rounded corners. And over here, a triangular feature with a rounded apex. Check that out. Right in the center, look like little symbols or glyphs. Huge slab over here, about 25 meters in diameter. There's more of these smaller blocks with little features and knobs in the center. Check those out. Check out the pyramid part or feature on this one, right in the center. And what's nice about this one is this sort of wedge-shaped convex feature, and right there at the apex you got like a little oblong dome-like part to it. That there looks like an opening as well. To get the lines running through here, it's almost as if these were structures or buildings. Looking at the way these blocks also interlocked. This one moved away slightly. Straight edges or sides with right angle corners. Check that out. These parallel lines. Looking at these blocks, this one over here, almost a perfect square with a little hole right in the center. Looking at these slabs over here, maybe metal plate, who knows? Maybe this was one piece and it was bent through there, rounded corner, little opening here perhaps, another dome-like feature or part over there. There's that corner, these blocks as well, or slabs. I'd love to go and check these out. We've got more arrangement and geometry over here. The shape of these and how they fit together. As well, you can see how these blocks fit together. This one's got a smaller hole right in the center. This one over here looks like a spherical dome-like knob right there in the center. That looks like a small metal plate. There's two that edge to it. More blocks over here. This one. Checking out another semicircular, sort of hexagon shaped object. The dark spot right in the center over there. Another semicircular object, convex in shape. To go around this feature is, and right in the center it looks like a little hole. Check it, this square block, straight sides, check that out. And this corner seems to be carved to that step. And then in the center we've got a chevron shaped feature or knob. Another partially buried, covered in dust megalith, and in the center a smaller feature that looks like a little dome right there. Check at this, another one of these sort of disc-like objects, and here we've got, looks like a little pyramid as well, and then a dome-like feature at the apex right in the center of this object. And now we've got two blocks that have been custom built to fit. Look at that, like two pieces of a puzzle, and they've moved slightly apart. Those are also about 20-25 meters across from there to there. So you could actually walk through this opening quite easily. And then more interlocking parts over here. Could this be machinery, wreckage? This just looks too mechanical to me. I don't know if this is a megalith or metallic in nature. It looks like an opening as well. And then there, a circular part, and what looks like piping, lots of parallel lines and right angles there. Those be sort of glyphs or symbols. That too looks like a metal plate. It's been bent. Another semicircular object that could be a hole right in the center of it as well. Next area, 46 north, 18 east. Also looks as if some water came through here. Check at this ridge line. And even this so-called crater, these craters look artificial as well. I haven't checked out this side of this crater. That looks rather artificial. Okay, so this is one of these images that I'm going to turn upright. You're looking at these objects down here. So I've rotated it 180 degrees to show you this object there. Check out that. We've got like a rectangular base. This rounded piece on the top reminds me almost of a mantelpiece clock. Check out the base over here, similar to this, and in the way this is shaped, similar over here. Check that out. Could that be a type of little outpost or building with a rectangular opening here? Could be a doorway. And these blocks around here also seem to have some pattern to them. Look at the way those four have been aligned. in that row. 4 similar sized blocks there. We've got 4 in a row as well. That looks like a disc-like shape. Let's get that out. Partially buried. Now let's quickly see. That's about 15 meters wide by about 8 meters deep. Yeah, another one of these objects that I'm not sure whether this could have been a craft or some type of machinery or just a strange megalith. With that dark spot right in the center, and that looks like it could have been like a, I don't know, landing gear perhaps. I'm not sure what this is. Checking out this, it looks like either a metal plate, part of some wreckage. Look at the way this has been ripped. Or it could be a piece that broke off another block. Very eroded, and then here another oblong feature or knob. That looks like we've got smaller, equally sized darker spots on the surface. I'm not sure what this could have been. Maybe even top of a tent, who knows. Collapsed. Looking at those 2 anomalies here, this looks like it could have been some type of sculpture perhaps, little glyphs, symbols on it. Yeah, we got a really straight edge, and then another one there at 45 degrees. And a smaller feature in the center. I don't know what this is. It even looks like a ring lying over here, some type of ring artifact. And then this small little block way out on its own, out of place, about what, 2.5, 3 meters wide by about 7 or 8 meters tall. And in the center, got what looks like a perfect hole. Similar sized object, but this looks more metallic, with a darker spot in the center there. Next area, 50 south, 106 east. In this flattened crater or hole, and it's in this darker area here. There's lots of anomalies in these dark areas. So yeah, we can see perfect examples of holes. We're looking at these objects. Check that out. Got a perfect hole in this block. This looks almost like metal plate lying around here. And then in a circular pattern we've got more smaller features. Check that out. In the center, looks like a little opening. That looks like a pipe running across there. Over here as well. Checking out these anomalies. Another perfect hole right in the center of this object, and next to it a little dome-like feature or knob. Check out that, perfect hole. Some more anomalies in a row there. And here we got some interlocking or layering with these two objects. This one's lying on top of this one. This be metallic plate. Nice edges. Here's a block. It looks like a hole right in the center as well. That looks like another block with a hole in it. There's a little semicircular feature on this one. More interlocking over there. So that, again, I'm not sure whether this could be metal plate. Check these out. These be vents, air vents or openings. Very well hidden. Another one of these triangular objects. Check out this smaller triangular feature on the top, and it looks as if that could be like an opening as well. Check that out there. Some type of venting system perhaps. But even yeah, this looks as if it could be part of the same object. So perhaps this is another triangular wedge-shaped object. It's partially buried, you can't see the apex. With this side and that side producing a symmetrical object. More arrangement, smaller features in a circle around a larger dome-like knob right there. Another hexagon shape over here. And the way that this object has been made looks highly artificial as well. Another one of these L shapes. Straight line running through there. And then smaller features or knobs. Very irregular looking block as well. Like a custom cut block. Looking at this area here, and could this be another metal plate? That one as well. This looks like some type of wreckage perhaps. This looks like a different type of material. It's darker in color. Straight edges, right angle. Here's a V shape. Top of this object also looks like metallic plate. It's been ripped, bent. Yeah, I don't know. Checking out this area there. Another disc-like object with a little hole in the center. Yeah, to this object, convex in shape, with what looks like a hole, and in the center a smaller spherical object. Check out the shape of this on top of that larger object. It looks almost like an hourglass shape. Checking out those two. There's another hexagonal shape over here. Little donut feature in the center. There's a little pyramid right in the center of this one. More parts that interlock. Check that out. Another L shape over there. That's straight. Straight edges, right angle. Smaller feature or part in the center. It looks as if these two pieces fit together somehow. Also, could this be a metal plate? There'll be some type of technology. Get those three features in a row in the center of this plectrum shaped object. A smaller feature or dome there. More layering going on up at the top right. Straight edges, right angle there. Next area, 50 degrees south, 306 east. So in an area it looks like a plane, also very flat. And this concentric circular structure, these have been walls. So this thing's about 100 to 120 meters in diameter. Checking out those anomalies there. Check out this strange shape. Here we've got what look like blocks running in two rows going through there. As a block with a smaller carved out area, like a circular carved out area. And a small donut shape right in the center of that. This one's also got like a little V-shaped feature or part in the center. Checking out these blocks over here. More blocks in rows. Check out those fit together. Checking out these straight edges, check at that. There's a perfect right angle there. So this looks like it could have been a circular structure like those I've found in Stokes crater, for example. Also very similar in size and geometry. And zoomed out, we're looking at these strange anomalies here. Not too far. Even that looks like a larger circle. That's sort of covered in sand and dust. This could even be a larger structure or remains of an old ancient structure. So we're checking out another one of these sort of hexagon shaped objects, convex in shape, almost like a disc. A smaller feature right in the center where the dome would be if this was a saucer. So check that out. In the center there we got that dark spot. Looks looks almost like a hole, a small dome-like feature there next to it. And then, yeah, totally out of place, the smaller object, about 6 meters wide. Check at that straight edge over there, or perfect edge. And in the center, a dark spot or feature. Also, looks like partially buried walls or ruins. And over here as well, parallel lines. There's 4 blocks in a row there. So we're going to zoom in on this piece and looking at the geometry in that area. With 3 blocks in a row next to one another here. 3 over there. Here we've got 4 blocks. These 3 have got smaller knobs on them right in the centers. Check that out. This one here, it's partially buried, there's a hole in it. And yeah, another one of these perfect disc-shaped objects, like a dome. See how big that is. That's about 8 meters across. And look how smooth that surface is. Look at this, would be in a craft, like a little UFO, like a saucer. Who knows? Maybe it crashed here. Some type of wreckage. And yeah, we got another one of these cube-shaped blocks. Straight edges, right angle, and then this side seems to be carved away. Next area, 40 degrees south, 98 degrees east, and very mountainous area. There's a gully running through here as well. I want to show you a pyramid I discovered over here. So this is a top view zoomed in, and it's right there. Sticks out like a sore thumb. And here it is, actual size. It's probably about 200 meters long by about 100 meters wide. And look at the symmetry in this structure. This Y shape coming up to an apex there, and the walls have eroded away like any typical ancient pyramid would show, signs of erosion. So check that out. And with that said, I thank you for watching part 3 of the evidence of possible ancient ruins and megaliths found on Mars. Also showing similarities between ruins and megaliths found on Earth as well as on Mars. The possible link to an old boulder race or civilization that was present on both planets. So who knows? Do stay tuned for part 4, which I'll try and do within the next couple of days, and that will be a summary of everything we've looked at. And what we'll do is we'll go onto the surface of planet Mars in Google Earth, and we'll follow the white line linking all these sites together, just to give you a review of where all these sites were found, the type of topology in the area, to show you how diverse these areas are, as well as we'll have a look at 2 or 3 examples from each site. And I think this is compelling evidence showing that there was something happening on Mars which is unnatural. So who knows? Thanks again for watching. welcome new subscribers. Thank you for joining, and to my faithful viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. See you in the next video.